Most launches fail because of the reasons I'm going to tell you about today. So, if you are about to launch or if you um have a launch coming up even in the next 6 months, I would really take a minute and write down what I'm going to tell you today because it's going to serve and support you so much. And honestly, I think a lot of times people think there's a lot of work that goes into launches, and launching is like one of the easiest things that there is. We just put this pressure on ourselves to go into launch mode, and therefore we make it all this bigger deal than it really needs to be. Okay. So when it comes to launching, this is what I see, and this is where I see most people fail, or most people aren't doing these things. And if they were, it would change the results of their launch tremendously. Okay. So the first thing is we need to know these things because if people don't know about our offer, it doesn't matter how great it is, right? Obviously, we want to have a great offer. We don't want to just sell air, right? We want to sell something that our audience actually desires, right? Most launches are going to fail because of a visibility gap, and we're going to talk about that. And then the more visible you are before and during your launch, typically the more sales that you make. There are some nuances with that, but let's get into it, okay? So the biggest mistakes that kill launches are pre-launch visibility. I see so many people come into the online space and say, well, I've been building this business for a year. I haven't been visible, but I've been dotting on my I's and crossing on my T's, and I'm going to launch this offer in like 4 weeks. Okay, I'm not saying you can't get a lot of visibility in 4 weeks, but think of all the time you've just been behind the scenes when you could have been getting visible. Even if it is tiptoeing in, even if it is like gradually going for it, right? And so many people wait until a week to 4 weeks before their launch and be like, oh, good, let's get visible now. It's time to get visible. Got to put myself out there. Put yourself out there now. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. I'm going to say this forever. I'm never going to change my tune on this, or at least I don't think I am. But let me tell you, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see. Only talking about your offer once or twice. I'm just going to say this. When I go look at an offer, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's kind of cool, right? That's what happens. I see an offer and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. The next time I go to an offer, oh my gosh, like, I wonder if I need this. The third time I see an offer, like, I'm really feeling called to this. I'm really feeling like I should say yes to this. What if the fourth time never happens? What if of course my nose is going to itch. What if the offer, because they weren't selling it, they decided not to offer it again. So guess what? What does that mean to me? Out of sight, out of mind. You didn't bring it up. I'm assuming you're not selling it anymore. You didn't bring it up. I guess I don't need it anymore. Right. And so this happens so many times. There are a lot of things I buy on the first time, and there are a lot of things that have to be conditioned and repeated on that great repetition strategy in my head. So when we are not talking about our offers enough, we are not giving people as many opportunities to make the purchase. Okay. Not creating demand first. So visibility is obviously about being seen. However, it's more than being seen. It's about being convicted about what you do. It's about having a mission so strong and so deep that that's your why. That like you literally are talking about it so much that you have this audience that feels part of this mission. They want to be a part of that mission because the way you describe it, the way you talk about it, the conviction you have when you talk about it, like they want to be a part of that. This is where messaging comes in, and messaging matters, and you will be refining your messaging from day one. That's why I'm telling you, don't get visible 4 weeks. I mean, if you're not visible, please get visible now, but don't wait until 4 weeks before, because you can be refining your messaging throughout that time that you're building whatever you're building, right? Don't wait. People ask me all the time, I want to start a business. I don't know what I want to do yet. What do you recommend I do? Number one, build relationships. Number two, get visible. Teach your audience something. Get visible. Put yourself out there. Okay. The next thing is we need to create different mediums of content. I am not telling you when visibility happens to get on video, do all live videos, do all reels, do all, I want you to create a variety of content that your audience can digest. Some days I want to watch a video. Some days I just want to read. I want you to get to the point. Give them that variety and with a great repetition strategy, and you're going to build like, know, and trust so much more deeper, well before your launch. Okay. The other thing that I see is people stop and start a lot, meaning I launched something, so let me go in hiding. And then let me come back out 3-6 months from now. No, this does not work this way. Keep a consistent rhythm of your visibility. Keep a consistent rhythm of showing up. Keep a consistent rhythm of giving value. Not just like, boom, let me go launch. Okay, launch is over. Let me go into hiding. I'll come back out in a year. That's not how it works. Okay. And the sixth reason that I see people not be as successful with their launch as they want is they just don't like their offer. They're not obsessed with it. They could take it or leave it. They don't really feel their offer. They don't really know their offer. They don't really know the results of their offer. They don't know the transformation of the offer. They don't know what the identity shift is of their person when they buy the offer. If you don't feel that conviction, this is one of the reasons we're doing Sweet Success, is because if you don't feel that, they're not going to feel it either. If you create a piece of content without emotion and without conviction, it's not going to magically show up on the other end. And so this is where that conviction, that knowing, that belief, that confidence in your offer. I think it's Grant Cardone, I think that I read that, or in his book, if you're not confident, they're going to know. If you don't love it, stop selling it. Or add it as an order bump or something. But stop trying to convince people when you literally, don't convince people anyhow, but stop trying to convince people when you literally aren't even convinced, right? You don't even believe in it. So we get to talk about our offers long before we sell them, or we talk about what we do and what we're known for long before we're even selling or doing the launch, right? And we want to really start going into the launch process. I mean, if I'm going to sell something, I'm going to launch something, I'm going to start talking about it in my content. I'm going to shift my content over to that topic, right? I'm talking a lot about offer suites right now. So we're talking about a lot of things that go with offers and selling your offers, because that is the same thing. That is the same theme, right? It's the same similar topic. You need all of these things. When you show up consistently, your audience really starts to trust you. And we want to build that trust. We want to attract raving fans. And we can do that if you're only going to show up 4 weeks before your launch. But let me tell you, it's going to be a lot easier. And you're going to have so many more opportunities to build like, know, and trust, because some people need more than 4 weeks, and some people need more than 4 months, and some people need 4 years. Plain and simple. Everybody has a different comfort, build trust level. Okay. Use different content formats. Again, lives, posts, emails, really just to stay top of mind. All those visibility touch points. We want to get all of them because our audience digests our content differently, right? Even on different days. And then we want to keep the momentum after our launch so that we're not feeling like we're like coming up from the dark hole when it's time to launch the next offer, right? Like, hi, I'm back. I took a social media break for 4 months and now I want to sell you something else. No, we're in this to serve. We're in this to support. We're in this just for more than that launch. We're in this for our mission and our movement and all of the things that we have inside of us that we want to really serve and support our audience with. Okay. All right. Drop any of your questions. I hope this serves and supports you for your next launch, and stop letting it scare you. And if you're like, I know my offer suite is just not where it needs to be, make sure you check out Sweet Success, because that's going to serve and support you so that selling feels so much more effortless, and it really aligns with who you are, what you desire, and what you know your audience needs, and how you can really change their life.